Again. It's day 5 of the year, and it's day 5 of the workbook lessons of the Course in Miracles. How joyful it is to train your mind for inner peace, to train your mind to be tuned in to God, to the Holy Spirit, to Jesus, to be happy. No small gift, happiness, peace, joy, no small gift. And it's a gift to yourself. It's a gift to the whole universe. It's a gift that we've been praying to give, praying to extend, and we're smack dab in the middle of it. So some of you know over the years when I practiced the Course in Miracles workbook lessons, and actually what has come to mind whenever there is a twinge of upset, the practice internally is workbook lessons 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And today, yes, workbook lesson number 5. Our first Friday of the year, and here we are on workbook lesson number 5. I am never upset for the reason I think. And, if that was a mantra you had and you just held to this mantra, that would be very, very, very helpful in starting to change your mind, about turning away from darkness and toward the light, about releasing any scraps of judgments, grievances, because this lesson is the first one where Jesus is really bringing in that idea of upset. What is an upset? It's a grievance. And there are no small grievances or big grievances. Grievances hide the light of the world in me. Grievances hide the light of Christ from my awareness. So the whole point of forgiveness is to let go of the grievances. So today we join together in that, maybe this is the first day of your I am never upset for the reason I think ministry. How's that for a title? I don't think that name's been used. If any of you are starting out feeling to start a ministry, I am never upset for the reason I think ministry. That's a sweet one. So I'm feeling, in terms of ministry, today, wow, I really woke up feeling I am among the ministers of God. What does that mean? Well, our ministry is a ministry of happiness and joy and glee and love. So when we're in our ministry, we're in the Beatitudes that Jesus was talking about 2,000 years ago. It's a ministry of the state of mind of the Beatitudes. That's what it is. Is it organized? No, it's not really organized, but it's an attitude. It's a state of mind. It's what's in your heart that radiates out, and let the light of God's love radiate out through you. And I'm going to be part of a in-person online gathering today of the ministers of God, gathering over 70 of us in person and online, and basically everyone who wants to be a teacher of God is a teacher of God. The key word is want. Do you want to be? You want to take your place in the mind, in the great awakening, by being the light of the world and radiating that light out to everyone and everything. Use every moment to radiate the love of God. Don't hold back a single moment. There's no time to delay. Now is the time. And that's beautiful because it takes it to a vast, vast experience where you start to realize that every loving thought by anyone, anywhere, at any time is a contribution to shining the light of God. It doesn't really matter what the culture is or what the physicality, the location. It doesn't matter what the earthly identity is. It doesn't matter. It's not a ministry of position. It's not a ministry of orientation in terms of cultural norms or learned things. It's a ministry of joy. It's a ministry of the moment. So that's what I'm never upset for the reason I think ministry is. It's the ministry of the moment. Remember that. When you're in the ministry of the moment, you're in you're in that ministry, and this is just a way of clearing the mind of anything that's not joy. So let's jump into it. Lesson number 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. This idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any person, situation, or event you think is causing you pain. Apply it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever terms seems accurate to you. The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any number of forms, all of which will be perceived as different. This is not true. However, until you learn that form does not matter, each form becomes a proper subject for the exercises for the day. Applying the same idea to each of them separately is the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. When using the idea for today for a specific perceived cause of any upset, of an upset in any form, use both the name of the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. For example, I am not angry at, fill in the blank, for the reason I think. I am not afraid of, fill in the blank, any name you want, for the reason I think. But again, this should not be substituted for practice periods in which you first search your mind for, quote, sources of upset in which you believe and forms of upset which you think result. In these exercises, more than in the preceding ones, you may find it hard to be indiscriminate and to avoid giving greater weight to some subjects than to others. It might help to precede the exercises with the statement, there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Then examine your mind for whatever is distressing you, regardless of how much or how little you think it is doing so. You may also find yourself less willing to apply today's idea to some perceived sources of upset than to others. If this occurs, think first of this. I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. Then search your mind for no more than a minute or so and try to identify a number of different forms of upset that are disturbing you, regardless of the relative importance you may give them. Apply the idea for today to each of them using the name of both the source of the upset as you perceive it and of the feeling as you experience it. Further examples are, I am not worried about, for the reason I think. I am not depressed about, for the reason I think. 3 or 4 times during the day is enough. And I just was praying a bit on what from the text could support us today in our beautiful I am never upset for the reason I think ministry. So here we go from the beginning of chapter 10. This is given us for support today in our lesson. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving, because nothing is beyond you. Time and eternity are both in your mind and will conflict until you perceive time solely as a means to regain eternity. You cannot do this as long as you believe that anything happening to you is caused by factors outside yourself. You must learn that time is solely at your disposal and that nothing in the world can take this responsibility from you. You can violate God's laws in your imagination, but you cannot escape from them. They were established for your protection and are as inviolate as your safety. God created nothing beside you, and nothing beside you exists, for you are part of him. What except him can exist? Nothing beyond him can happen, because nothing except him is real. Your creations add to him as you do, but nothing is added that is different, because everything has always been. What can upset you except the ephemeral? And how can the ephemeral be real if you are God's only creation and he created you eternal? Your holy mind establishes everything that happens to you. Every response you make to everything you perceive is up to you, because your mind determines your perception of it. God does not change his mind about you, for he is not uncertain of himself. And what he knows can be known, because he does not know it only for himself. He created you for himself, but he gave you the power to create for yourself, so you would be like him. That is why your mind is holy. Can anything exceed the love of God? Can anything then exceed your will? Nothing can reach you from beyond it, because being in God, you encompass everything. Believe this, and you will realize how much is up to you. When anything threatens your peace of mind, ask yourself, has God changed his mind about me? Then accept his decision, for it is indeed changeless, and refusal to change your mind about yourself. God will never decide against you, or he would be deciding against himself. There's the support. No cause outside my mind. So it must be I'm never upset for the reason I think, and it must be that I'm just holding on to a grievance. Just holding on to a grievance if I'm upset. Nothing but my thoughts affect me. If I'm choosing attack thoughts, if I'm choosing judgments, if I'm choosing grievances, then I have to take responsibility for my peace of mind. And the first step of the 5, 6, 7, 8 solution is that's the solution of reversing the belief that there's an external source, an external cause. Happiness is an internal matter. Health is an internal matter. Joy is an internal matter. Freedom is an internal matter. And God's will, being the kingdom of heaven within, is an internal matter. So what a joyful way as we leap into the new year. Here we are, Friday, first Friday of 2024. That's right, lesson number 5. I am never upset for the reason I think. If you have to, just make a song out of it. Go through the day and just notice if you start to feel anything that's not extreme happiness and joy, then just notice, let that little nudge come. Oh, that's right. That's the lesson of the day coming in. I'm never upset for the reason I think. And that's the first step in freedom. That's the first step toward the gateway of eternity within. And we just read that in chapter 10, the beginning there. Time and eternity, cannot really coexist, but both of them are in you while you believe that in the split mind. So today, by choosing eternity, you are choosing the present moment, the holy instant. And if you choose to get preoccupied with time ideas, thoughts of the past or the future, time ideas, they come from the ego. They're not coming from God. God wills you perfect happiness right now. And that is, thank God for God's will. Okay, lots of blessings. I'm going to have a beautiful day with the ministers of God. I see you all in that beautiful light of shining the light of God's love. And I send my love to you. Amen.